Hey, I'm Jake, and this is the instructional video on how to build an iMac Aquarium out of your iMac using the kit that I've assembled for you. Over time, I've built about 100 iMacs, and during this time, people email me and say, hey, can I just buy the tank and the light and the filter and everything needed to build an iMac Aquarium, but, use my own iMac that I have. So I've decided to put together this kit with the following instructions. The instructions I'm going to break down into 3 parts. The disassembly of the iMac, the modification of all the pieces that you need to do, and the reassembly using the kit that I've provided. So before we begin, let's just take care of a couple things. You want to make sure that you have a slot loading CD drive iMac, not a tray loading CD drive iMac. They look a lot similar, but they are built completely different on the inside. I'm sure you can use a tray loading iMac and it may work just fine, but I've never done it. My tank and my instructions are designed for a slot loading drive iMac. The other thing is that you want to make sure your iMac is in fairly good condition. You don't want it to be cracked anywhere, obviously. The main thing you want to look for is that front bezel around the screen. You want to look through that clear part and make sure that that inner frame on the front isn't cracked up in any way. If it's cracked at all or broken all the pieces in there, you're either going to have to glue it back together once you get it all taken apart, or basically you're going to need a new iMac, because if that front inner frame is broken up in any way, it pretty much ties the whole thing together and you're going to need to fix it, repair it, or get a new one. Also, you will be discharging the CRT inside of the iMac. The CRT holds thousands of volts. If it is not discharged, your CRT may or may not be discharged. I will give you detailed instructions later in the video about how to safely discharge your CRT, but if you're in any way nervous or skittish around electricity or performing this procedure, please take your iMac to a computer hardware store or somewhere like that, and they will safely discharge the CRT monitor for you so it will be safe to work on. So once we get the case cracked open, I will give you instructions on how to do it yourself. If you follow them, you should be just fine. But I cannot be held responsible for any injuries that take place performing any instructions in this video. So, with that being said, let's move along to part 1, disassembling the iMac.